most people think of pigeons, they think of a dirty city bird, not a companion to spend your afternoon with. But actually, pigeons make really great pets, and I have Kettle in the background here as proof. So today, we're going to be going over 10 reasons why a pigeon might be the right pet for you. Pigeons in general are pretty relaxed in terms of their temperament. If you want to use comparisons, a pigeon is more similar to a lazy cat than it is to an energetic dog. A lot of a pigeon's day is spent eating, sleeping, preening their feathers, and preening their feathers some more. So they're pretty great for people with a more laid-back lifestyle that are looking for a pet to do more relaxed activities with them. Related to a pigeon's easygoing demeanor is the fact that they don't need a lot of one-on-one interaction like other pets do. Don't get this confused with how much attention a pigeon needs though. They need a lot. It's just the kind of attention that they need that's a little bit different than with other animals. Now, I'm only speaking from my own experience. Other pigeon owners might have a different one, but in my experience, pigeons are pretty happy as long as you're in the same physical space as them. And I'm kind of proving my point here with Kettle in the background. She's probably gonna stay there for the most of this video. But let me give you an example of what a pretty typical interaction with me and Kettle looks like. I'll be on my computer, writing a script, editing a video, talking to friends, spending most of my attention on my computer. And Kettle will be there too, but she won't be interacting with me directly. She'll either be sitting on my monitor, sitting on my chair, and sometimes she even sits on my microphone. So she's always kind of near me and like in the same space as me, but she doesn't necessarily need to interact with me directly. We can hang out like that for hours, and a lot of the time she ends up falling asleep, honestly. The way that we interact might sound kind of strange, but I think we both just enjoy each other's company, even if we're kind of doing our own things. People love cuddly animals, and they like to be affectionate with cuddly animals even more. Animals like reptiles, amphibians, and birds usually aren't considered cuddly by any means, but pigeons are different for a lot of reasons. Not only will a pigeon enjoy your affection, but you can also give it to them without risking their health. If that sounds strange, let me explain. With most other pet birds, so usually parrots, you're discouraged from petting them basically anywhere but the top of their heads. And this is because parrots can develop hormone and behavioral issues if they're stimulated in the wrong way. And this can be pretty detrimental not only to their health, but also to the relationship that owner has with their parrot. This topic is somewhat debated in the pigeon community, but I'm someone that believes that you can pet a pigeon without it causing the same issues as it would a parrot. So in my opinion, you can pet a pigeon pretty much however you want, provided that they let you. You can see pigeons as the bird version of a cat in a lot of ways, including how different each bird can be. Kettle is very clingy, but she's not super affectionate, but she likes to have me around and she likes to be in my space. But a lot of pigeons are different. A lot of pigeons are way more clingy and way more affectionate, or don't want to have anything to do with their owners whatsoever. So it's important that if you do get a pigeon, you keep in mind that each bird is an individual and they're going to have their own unique traits and quirks. All pets poop. It's a fact of life. But birds typically tend to be more inconvenient in terms of their waste. Cats have litter boxes, dogs go to the bathroom outside, but most birds just kind of go wherever they want. This is where pigeon pants come in. I made a whole deep dive video about pigeon pants if you'd like to know more about them in detail, but basically they solve the birds poop everywhere problem. If I want to hang out with Kettle, I can just put on her pigeon pants and hang out with her without needing to worry about her ruining my belongings. It's really funny that she's cooing, and I hope that my mic picks it up because pigeons are generally pretty quiet. Pigeons are not silent by any means, but the noises that they make are pretty low in volume. Unlike dogs that bark, parrots that scream, and human children that also scream, pigeons generally make noises that are not really that loud at all. I think the loudest noise that Kettle has ever made is just the sound of her wings flapping back and forth because she has a cage that allows her to fly freely. And even though the sound of her flapping her wings is audible, it's nowhere near as loud as other pets can be. Other sounds that pigeons make are their cooing and their singing, but neither of those are loud enough to get you evicted or give you literal hearing damage like other animals do. A pigeon's shorter lifespan might seem like an odd thing to add to this list, but the truth is that pigeons are less of a long-term commitment than most other birds. Pigeons' lifespans usually are around the 10 to 15 year mark in captivity generally, which means that you can expect to have a pigeon about as long as you can expect to have a cat. Now, obviously nobody wants their pets to die. Everyone wishes that their pets could live forever, but having a shorter lifespan does mean that you don't have a lot of the same issues in terms of lifespan that you do with a parrot. You're likely to have a pigeon for a really long time, but it's not likely that they're going to be a lifelong commitment. And it's even less likely that they're going to be a lifelong commitment that you have to pass on to somebody else once you pass away. So even though a pigeon's shorter lifespan is kind of sad, it is something that you should take into account when you're choosing what kind of pet bird you might want. This might come as a surprise, but pigeons are actually really intelligent animals. Most pigeons, anyway. Pigeons have the ability to recognize human faces, recognize symbols, and of course, a lot of them have the homing ability. A pigeon's intelligence means that they're able to be trained, kind of like how you train a dog or a cat. And while I personally have not explored this side of pigeon ownership, other people definitely have. I've seen all sorts of videos of pigeons doing different kinds of tricks, including recall training when they're free flying. Some owners have even claimed to have potty trained their pigeons, but I'm still kind of skeptical about that one. Regardless, I think their trainability is a part of what makes pigeons a really good pet option, and that's coming from somebody who has not trained their pigeon. If anything, Kettle's the one training me. An issue that a lot of pet owners face is how destructive their birds are. And parrots have really sharp beaks that can destroy stuff, but pigeons, not so much. A pigeon's beak can get decently sharp, but it's not the kind of sharp that's gonna leave you wondering why your phone charger is all chewed up. Unless they decide to land on something that can't support their weight, pigeons are pretty non-destructive. Pigeons are technically an exotic animal in terms of their vet care, how common they are, and just by societal standards. But unlike most exotic animals, their care is pretty straightforward. I won't be diving into the nitty-gritty of pigeon ownership in this video, but if that's something that you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. But generally, as long as a pigeon is fed, housed, given water, and proper vet care when needed, you're pretty good to go. Like I said, unlike reptiles, most other birds, things like that, pigeons are pretty simple. If it isn't obvious, I really like birds, and I'm the kind of person that wants to make that obvious to everybody that meets me. Bird Collective sells clothing, accessories, and other merchandise for people who really like birds. They have a lot of really cool clothing with birds on it, and a lot of different kinds of birds on the clothing that they make. So if you're a fan of birds, Bird Collective probably makes something that you'll really like. And the best bit is that a portion of their profits goes towards bird aid organizations. So if you'd like to get some bird merch for yourself, you can check out the sponsored section of my Linktree. There it'll have a link to their website and also a coupon code that you can use to get a discount on whatever you want. Thank you so much to Bird Collective for sponsoring today's video. And now let's check out the last thing on our list. One of the things that's wonderful about getting a pet pigeon is that they're readily available for rescue. Not only do many people not know you can have a pet pigeon, a lot of people just don't care about pigeons in general. There are a lot of pigeons out there in need of homes for one reason or another. Whether it be that they are an injured city pigeon in need of a home, or an escaped racing pigeon that was abandoned. There is no shortage of pigeons in need of loving homes. So if you adopt a pigeon, you'll not only be likely saving a life, but you'll be giving that pigeon a second chance at happiness. There are lots of different ways to rescue and adopt a pigeon, but I think that the best way is to look at adoption agencies online. I won't be going into the details of pigeon adoption in this video, but if you'd like to see a video like that in the future, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to go the extra mile and support my channel, check out my Patreon because it's the best way to help me keep creating videos like this one. My Patreon has behind the scenes content, early looks at my upcoming content, and you'll get a shout out at the end of every single video like this one. By joining my Patreon, you're not only supporting me, you're joining a community of people that literally keep this channel running. Alongside videos like these, I also post shorter content here on YouTube and also on all of my social media. My Patreon and my social media can be found in the description of this video, and it's also in my Linktree, which is also in my description. Thank you again to Bird Collective for sponsoring today's video, And thank you for watching.